Morning.
Today is Tuesday, March 24th, and we'll be reading Deuteronomy 7 and 8.
7.
All right, what are we reading? What are we reading? 7 and 8. Very good. Are you ready, Catherine? Yes? Yes, you found your place right there? All right, thank you.
Mommy just 7.
Are you ready, Matthew?
Yes, ma'am.
You ready, Nathaniel?
Yes.
How about you, Gabriel? Yes? Thumbs up? Do we have a thumbs up from you? What?
I have 20.
That's your fist bump? All right. And a high five.
Come on. Maybe a kiss. Come on, Mommy.
7.
Chapter 7, The Chosen People. When the Lord your God brings you into the land which you are entering to possess, and has driven out many nations before you, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than you, and when the Lord your God delivers them before you, and you strike them down, you must utterly destroy them. You shall make no covenant with them, nor shall show mercy to them. What is more, you shall not intermarry with them. You shall not give your daughters to their sons, or take their daughters for your sons, for they will turn your sons away from following me to serve other gods. Then the anger of the Lord will be inflamed against you, and he will quickly destroy you. But this is how you shall deal with them. You shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their asherim, and burn their graven images with fire. For you are a holy people to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you to be his special people, treasured above all the peoples who are on the face of the earth. And the Lord did not set his love on you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any of the peoples, for you were the fewest of all the peoples. But it is because the Lord loved you, and because he kept the oath which he swore to your fathers, the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of slavery, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know therefore the Lord your God, he is God and faithful, and the faithful God, who keeps covenant and mercy with him who love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. Yet he repays those who hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack with them who hates him. He will repay him to his face. Therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command you today by doing them. If you listen to these judgments, keep them and do them, then the Lord your God shall keep with you the covenant and the mercy which he swore to your fathers. He will love you and bless you and multiply you. He will also bless the fruit of your womb and the fruit of your land, your grain and your wine and your oil, the increase of your herd and the young of your flock, in the land which he swore to your fathers to give you. You shall be blessed above all peoples. There will not be male nor female barren among you or among your livestock. The Lord will take away from you all sickness, and will inflict you with none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which you know, but will lay them on all those who hate you. You must consume all the peoples who the Lord your God will deliver to you. Your eyes shall have no pity on them, nor shall you serve their gods, for that will be a snare to you. If you say in your heart, these nations are greater than I, how can I dispose them? And you shall not be afraid of them. You must surely remember that the Lord your God did what the Lord your God did to Pharaoh and to all Egypt, the great trials which your eyes saw, in the signs and the wonders and the mighty hand and the stretched out arm by which the Lord your God brought you out. So the Lord your God will do to all the people of whom you are afraid. Moreover, the Lord your God will send the hornet among them, until they who are left and hide themselves from you perish. You must not be frightened of them, for the Lord your God is among you, a great and awesome God. The Lord your God will drive out those nations before you, little by little. You will not be able to destroy them all at once, lest the beasts of the field become too numerous for you. But the Lord your God will deliver them to you, and will throw them into a great confusion until they are destroyed. He will deliver the kings into your midst, so that he may erase their names from under heaven. No man will be able to stand before you until you have destroyed them. You must burn the graven images of their gods with fire. You must not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take any of it, lest you be snared by them, for it is an abomination to the Lord your God. You shall not bring an abomination into your house, lest you become cursed like it. But you must absolutely detest and abhor it, for it is a cursed thing. Chapter 8. Remember the Lord your God. You must carefully keep all the commandments that I am commanding you today, so that you may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which the Lord swore to your fathers. You must remember that the Lord your God led you all the way these 40 years in the wilderness to humble you and to prove you, to know what was in your heart, whether you would keep his commandments or not. He humbled you and let you suffer hunger and fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, that he might make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but man lives by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Lord. Your clothing did not wear out on you, nor did your feet swell these 40 years. You must also consider at your heart that as a man disciplines his son, so the Lord your God disciplines you. Therefore you must keep the commandments of the Lord your God, to walk in his ways, and to fear him. For the Lord your God is bringing you into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains and springs that flow out of valleys and hills, a land of wheat, barley, vines, fig trees, and pomegranates, a land of olive oil and honey, a land where you may eat bread without scarcity, in which you will not lack anything, a land whose stones are iron, and out of those hills you may dig copper, when you have eaten and are full. And then you shall bless the Lord your God for the good land which he has given you. That beware that you do not forget the Lord your God by not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes, which I am commanding you today. Otherwise, when you have eaten and are full, and have built and occupied good houses, and when your herds and your flocks multiply, and your silver and your gold multiply, and all that you have multiplies, then your heart will become proud, and you will forget the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, from the house of slavery, who led you through the great and terrible wilderness, where there were fiery serpents and scorpions, and drought, where there was no water, who brought forth for you water out of the rock of flint, who fed you in the wilderness with manna, which your fathers did not know, and he might humble you, and that he might prove you to do good for you in the end. Therefore you must say in your heart, my power and might of my hand have gained me this wealth. But you must remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to get wealth, so that he may establish his covenant, which he swore to your fathers, as it is today. If you ever forget the Lord your God, and go after other gods, and serve them, and worship them, then I testify against you today that you will surely perish. Just like the nations which the Lord will destroy before you, so shall you perish, because you would not be obedient to the voice of the Lord your God. 7 and 8.
Bye. Have a great day. Please subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video.